Hey y'all, good morning. So I told you I was going to post a video of the biscuits and gravy and breakfast this morning. I tried the mountain cooking with Missy and Brenda Gant method. I've never really made biscuits this way. We always use shortening instead of lard, so I thought I'd give it a try. So she says, get you 3 cups of flour, and then make you a well in the middle and get a handful of lard. I think she says a third of a cup. I think one of them or the other one does. Anyway, so then you take that and you put that in your well, and then you add like the milk, and then you take your hands and you start working that together and pulling the flour in, and squishing that lard and mixing in flour with lard, and doing and going like this right here. Okay. And it was weird because, like, it was odd how it just stayed in the middle. It was kind of cool. And so you just keep pulling flour in and you keep adding milk. And then you pull your flour in and you add milk, and you pull your flour in and you add milk. Now you're going to do this until you get to like where all the flour is combined and you've got like one big dough ball. Okay? So we just kept doing that until we got to this part right here, which was everything was pulling away from the side of the bowl, and we had one big giant dough ball. Now, this is what we're going to use to bake them in. We did a cast iron skillet, and I just rubbed some lard on the bottom to make it where they didn't stick. And like I said, my family always did shortening, so this step would have been the same. I'd have done this with shortening if I didn't have the lard. So did that, and then we just like take let's see here, I think, yeah, so then we just pinch off some of the dough, and you put some flour in your hands and you roll it around and make it into a ball, and you don't really get real rough with it, kind of be light-handed with it so you have fluffy biscuits. And then I moved the flour over there. Excuse me. And then you just roll these biscuits up into a ball, and you just set the ball down in the skillet. And I'll show you how we, you don't bake them like as a ball. You actually take the back of your hand and press them down. But I don't remember how many I did. I didn't fill this skillet up, I can tell you that right now. This is a big skillet. I think this is like a 12-inch skillet or something, so I didn't fill this up. But when you do cook them, you don't want a space in between them. You just want to set them right next to each other. I don't know why. It's just what you're supposed to do, I think. My granny always said they got taller because they had each other to lean on. That's funny. Anyways, so that's how many I got right there. See, I'm taking the back of my hand and just pushing them down. That's what you do. Take the back of your hand, push them down, push them down. And then we fried some bacon too, so I wanted to show you that. So there's the bacon. Brian, and my house was smelling so good this morning. And now we're going to make some gravy. So I added a little bit more lard to the skillet because it wasn't quite enough with that bacon grease. And we let that melt down. It was pretty hot. I had to turn the heat down twice. I think the burner on my stove gets carried away sometimes. But anyway, so I let that lard melt down, and then I took some of that flour. This is self-rising flour. Flour. My family says flour. Anybody else's people say flour like that, like a flower garden, or dusted with flour. And then if you had on a dress with flowers on it, it was a flirty dress. A flirty, She's got that pretty flirty couch. I mean, it's just funny how we say things. I never paid attention to it until, I started realizing as I grew up that everybody didn't talk that way. But yeah, my mom would say flirty. She'll be like, Mom, I ain't got nothing to wear to church. She's like, won't you wear a flirty dress? Somehow I knew exactly what she's talking about. So, anyway, salt and pepper for your gravy. You gotta cook your flour a little bit to get that raw taste out of it. And guys, yes, salt, pepper. I'm not eating this, guys. I can't have this. I can't have biscuits and gravy and bacon. No, it's a big no. So you see how it changes colors the longer you keep it, and the darker you want your gravy, the longer you need to cook the flour. Okay, or flour, the flour. But I like mine about medium, so as long as the raw taste is out of it, I don't really care. So I just let it get a little bit dark. I know some people let it get real dark. So once it gets to this stage right here, we're going to go ahead and go in here with some ice cold milk, fresh out the freezer, or refrigerator. The refrigerator, yes. So that's going to bring up all them bits off the bottom of the pan, and it's going to just make the best gravy. So we start stirring, and it almost immediately starts to thicken. It just takes it a minute or two to get done after this. Actually, I should have took it off the heat right here, but I'm always worried for that first minute or two that I've put too much milk in. Even though I know I didn't, I'm always worried that I did. So cast iron holds heat a lot longer than other pans. So at this stage right here, you could turn the heat off completely and remove the thing from the burner and still finish your gravy. So as you see right here, we're good and thick. It gets a little bit thicker, and I had to add some more milk. So yeah, as you can see, it doesn't take long for it to thicken right up. And I think right here's where I took it off the burner because I was like, oh, it's too hot. And the last thing you want is overcooked, scorched gravy. That's just a bad situation. So I did add some extra milk to thin it out a little bit. Yeah, right there you go. I like mine. I don't like it real thick, but I don't like it real thin either. There's like a perfect consistency, and this is about it right here. Oh. There's our finished biscuits. Some people call these cat head biscuits. I don't know. They're pretty good biscuits. I don't think they're quite as lovely as the ones that I make from my granny's recipe, but they were good. They were good biscuit and gravy biscuits for sure. And thank you for watching. I love you, and bye.